Doggy, see, do you realize this is the last Monday of 2025? Hey, this is Chuck Charlie Chaz from CGM3 Productions. How are you on this last Monday of 2025 in December in my new boat, in my new place? And it's a a breath of fresh air. It's a miracle. I am very, very blessed and grateful for for the amazing people that actually reached out. And first of all, I want to give a shout out to Kat Scott and Sue Flynn, both amazing, wonderful people who really got this place for me. That I'm safe, that I am warm, that I'm in no compromising situations. And to amazing super right across the street, his name is Ryan as well. So thank you guys, I really appreciate it. And making this amazing Christmas happen for me, and making it a year to remember, making it happen for many things that who would ever thought that some individual which was living life, who enjoys supporting, who've been there for the longest time, and been supporting everyone and working hard, and making things happen, making just life happen, and it's amazing. It's blessed. I am blessed. I am, definitely, I'm also grateful for everything right now. Got an amazing Christmas gift besides the apartment, which is amazing here, and a very, very nice, peaceful town where everybody says hello. And that kind of gives me, a little bit more close to at peace, at gratitude, and just an amazing, sight to be around this time. Besides the cold weather, and it's like it's getting a little chilly out right now because there's the wind advisory out there right now. We had a couple interesting days with some snow and freezing rain, and I'm sure it's going to be freezing up a little bit later because it's going to drop tremendously in the Catskills. So on that note, please be very careful. Please drive carefully. And obviously, this is like definitely New Year's week. Please be very, very careful. If you're out celebrating, and if you're out, with others, make sure you have a designated driver. Make sure you have, everything at hand here. Even if you're stuck on the side of the road, or, at your friend's place, always make sure you have an emergency pack, and say, hey, you know what? Here's my keys. Here's my pack. I got a pack. I got some clothes. Mind if I, crash here? And I'm sure they'll say, yeah, why do you want to venture out? Especially after a, good, part of celebrating. So, and this is definitely one thing I could tell you this. It's a year of celebrating. Who would ever thought of it? At the beginning of 2025, January, I was working very hard, eating, getting to enjoy some movies, going to a Sweet 16 party, seeing the diva, grow and just, do amazing things. And then, it just seems like that. And again, thank you, Liam. Thank you, Nina, Bren, Maddie. You guys are the best. That was during the month of January. Now, during the month of February, that's where it got crazy. During the month of February, things didn't look too well for me. Seems like it started out at work at an undisclosed location in Sullivan County, and they started seeing me not being me, the color of my skin, the color of my eyes. And one of my associates, um, one of my friends and the manager says, "Gee, you don't look right. You better go get yourself checked out in the hospital." I said, "Yeah. I guess when you had that bull-headed attitude, and you have to survive, and that's what I was doing, was surviving, the early part of 2025. Well, here we go. I mean, I was on my day off, and our film family together over at HPAC, over at Hurleyville Performing Arts Center, we were premiering Savior 2025, the 10th anniversary of Savior, which was an amazing, and it's a part of the Transcending Pictures Catskill International Film Festival Film Vault. And, again, to the amazing crew, and to amazing brother, Charles and Alexis and the entire crew, I thank you for that. Thank you for the support for the last, 11 years. We created everything far and beyond. And I'm looking forward to coming up with the factory coming up in, in the next, in 26. And this is going to be a very, very interesting movie. At any rate, so here I am. I'm in this other type of zone, and starting to feel like a little bit like getting things, trying to get things situated, trying to arrange some appointments and everything else. And after the premiere of, or after the second premiere of Savior, we actually had Where the High Ends, and that was also in Sullivan County, which we can't wait to show you in 26. Going to be a complete amazing movie, and they had auditions. So I was at the end of the hallway, took a few pictures, and I looked at myself. I'm like, oh my gosh, I really look terrible. I really looked yellow beyond yellow. And I said, you know what? I got to go I have to go to the doctors. I got to find a way to get to the doctor. So this was in mid-February. So I went to the local hospital up here in Garnett, not too far away from here. And in outpatient services, they drew my blood. And thank you, Dr. Eric, for getting me into the right track of things, because he really told us, like, yeah, you really have to get down to Orange Regional Medical Center, another branch from Garnett. And again, that was like really my second home, due to, many procedures, the MRIs, the MRCPs, different other things that happened. And it opened an all new chapter. So I was admitted to Garnett for 2 weeks. Okay. That was late February. And I said, okay, what do we need to do? So they did, many tests. They did many procedures. Thank goodness Dr. Pop, which was an amazing doctor in its field, placed a stent in my pancreas. And I said, okay, this is going to help out. But they, long and behold, another, oncologist, a very well-known oncologist, which thank goodness through them, I would not be here right now. And I would not even, I would be blessed and grateful for, everything what they did. Dr. Varun Modi from New York Cancer and Blood Center. And they really saved my literal, what. He told me about the test. He told me about the results, and in a very grim-like way, they found a diagnosis as stage 4 pancreatic and liver cancer. They found lesions in the pancreas and also in the liver. Now, thank goodness they didn't see any masses or anything, but they found lesions, and I was like, oh God, I just hope they're benign. And turns out it was cancerous. So I have stage 4 pancreatic and liver cancer. Okay. Still to this day, I am in thought, shell shocked, surprised, um, any other words you could put it, but it did not put a tear in my eye because I understood where, all the technology and where all the fundamentals are in cancer research. I mean, you could see through the way how everything's been treated and whatnot, and it all boils down to one thing. So it was basically a lot of chemotherapy on bye weeks. So as of last week, as a matter of fact, and being this the 41st entry for the year-end review, my 40th entry was my 18th round for this year, and that wrapped up all chemos for 2025. For 2026, we have no idea where we're going to go, but hopefully, it's a big question. It's a big question ahead. The future is very, very unclear. We'll find out where we're going to be within the next year. But going back, at the beginning of this year, so it started with all the treatments. It started with with simple rides down, and I gotta thank Kristen. She's amazing. Kristen actually was there for getting me down for either blood work and getting me down to for some of the treatments and whatnot. And then it's like, I just, she's definitely an angel, and she's definitely part of my, special crew that's going to get through to me. And how we set up rides and everything else throughout the entire year. So from early part of March, a little bit of April, I gotten some rides from friends, and obviously from mutuals that really who cared, close around in the area. But it was basically all up to me to get the rides taken care of down to New York Cancer Blood Center every other week. And sometimes there were like extended bye weeks. Sometimes some of these bye weeks were a little bit longer. Sometimes they were, we were on schedule. So thank goodness for that. And it happened, soulfully and very much in control. So I thought about what I should do instead of being like so blue and depressing and like the woe is me. I said, no, this is not going to be a woe is me mark. This is not going to be something depressing. I want to definitely tell you about my journey. And thank goodness for YouTube. Thank goodness for other platforms that made it happen. Because I started first of all, I started off with Facebook, saying it just a couple lines, saying good morning, just checking in, sipping coffee, going to chemo round, it's a win. And I got some great responses with that. And, everybody picked up on it, saying that I'm okay, or, saying that something very important is coming up, blood tests, blood markers, anything along that line. So that was one part of it. The next part of it was really getting everything reshaped in one way or another to show what I've been doing this past year, what I've been doing, paying attention wise, and what I've been doing. But since it's been a great platform on YouTube, I actually detailed my journey. Again, this is the 41st century, and amazing times, amazing events. I could go, at the beginning and just think it's some really great memories. And, it was really an amazing year to live, amazing year, amazing gift that it's one of those things that I wanted to do all these years and I never got a chance to do it. So, with technology, with different things that kind of make it well worth happen. So here I am thinking, okay, what can I make it to make things understandable for people? What can I make it understand where I stand, how I'm feeling, how I'm doing? Well, like within like a month or two, I'm like, the illness is gone, the jaundice is gone. Now it's basically a very skinny, I wouldn't say frail, but needed some meat. Let's put it that way. Let's put it this way: needed some meat and potatoes, eating right, eating nutritional balance, and just watch what I had to watch out for. So it was basically that's one of them. The other point to bring into the table is just to explore, the area, being a part of a great film crew when we did Where the High Ends. Sure, I was there doing a lot of POV shooting, behind the scenes shooting, getting some necessary interviews, and just making it happen. So that was one of the things for what we did, this past year. Again, Where the High Ends is coming out in 2026. I hope you get to enjoy it. And it's basically, it hits hard, it hits close to home. And again, Charles, amazing job with the writing. I can't wait until we see it in the big screen coming up. And the cast and crew was fantastic. It was a breath of fresh air, and we went on with that. Now, the other items was getting really the necessities of the essentials that I need to get, like transportation, which is already had. I still got to work on, just trying to get something figured out towards, right now, because it's like it always happened like in the middle of the year, always something happening. I'm like, yeah. I kind of figured, I'm like, okay, how am I going to get this done? Well, there have been angels that actually helped me out through that. Well, so when I'm going to thank them at the end of the video here as well. So, I mean, besides that, there was the indie picture that we just shot, going out to the reservoirs out in, Sullivan and Ulster County, to the Round Out, to the Never Sink, and exploring, the beautiness of Sullivan County. And, that was like the number one thing that I wanted to do, because I never really had a chance to do this in many different ways. Never been to Narrowsburg. Over at Fort Delaware, did that this year. And to the amazing cast and crew, to staff, and how they did it, going back to the French and Indian War. And since there's going to be a huge celebration next year in 26, in a couple of days, it's going to be the 250th anniversary or birthday of our country. And I'm ecstatic for that, because I'm huge into, our nation's history, and fascinated on how, everything has been transpired and kept the legacy and the legend up. So, and it really brought home a lot of different things. So besides the reservoir, Fort Delaware, I went out to Bethel Woods. I went out to Woodstock for their anniversary, for, obviously their, the 3 days of peace, love, and music. And actually going as a concert goer this time, because I was there in the mid 90s or in the late 90s for a day in a garden. Now I'm going there as a concert fan. Saw an amazing concert, and thanks to an angel, a rock angel. Love you for that, Tigman. Love you. Saw an amazing concert, and it just felt, my heart was happy. My heart was definitely, if I said that, I'm sorry. My heart is filled with joy. So that, that proceeded with that. And then seeing, a beauty contest, seeing a couple of other things that made it all happen. Went to the Bagel Fest, in glory, just seeing that, everything in Sullivan County coming together, to the Street Fest in Liberty, for the 4th of July Street Fest. It was a absolutely amazing time up there. And, going back to my home roots, back to Grahamsville, back to the Cover Bridge, to the Daniel Pierce Library, and even to the Time and Valleys Museum. That is definitely one of the best places to hang out and just record and just say, this is what I've been doing in recovery, and on the bye weeks on what's happening. And then obviously with the old place, and saying how I've been doing and whatnot. Well, right now, this is the biggest Christmas gift ever. So I thank, for this, and I'm hoping for, better living and for better days ahead. And then, celebrating the holidays like St. Patrick's Day over at my family, to Halloween event, to Thanksgiving, in which I began to cry. I wrote a post on Facebook regarding that's one of the holidays that I really cherish the most, and being around amazing people, being around people who care, and who, saying there's plenty of food. Oh, believe me, I gained some pounds, which is a good thing. And then, again, having like some of the leftovers and whatnot, which is great. And then going to a birthday party again in December. And again, happy birthday, Nina. It was one of the best times that we actually had. And, the spread, the food, and then obviously celebrating Christmas Eve here, even though it happened during my chemo visit. But, it's okay, because I did finish it. I did have a real good, decent time. And, the gifts, from near and far. And especially, I got something very special coming up, for January. So it's going to be pretty good. Definitely pretty good. So that's really my recap in one way. Health wise, again, I usually had like some off peak times, but it was always great to take a nap and being alive, always getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30, sometimes in Erie, 4:30 in the morning, saying, I just can't sleep. And what can I do? And try to get my mind in that thing, because usually that 4:30, 5 o'clock connection is basically when I go to chemo. Or when I go 5:36, it's usually like by the bye week, because I want to experience every day. I want to experience that sip of coffee and saying good morning, just checking in, sipping coffee, and looking outside the beauty and being alive, just being alive. And by the way, through a special thank you to a friend of mine who's in the general area, I went to the gazebo in Claryville, and hint, hint, wink, wink. It was where we shot Mantra a few years ago. And I said, this place was definitely paradise. So I remember recording a live edition on a platform. It was taken down. I don't know why, but now it's on this channel, on the postings that I did. I did one early in like the second week in May, or the second one in May. And now I did another one later on in July, hearing the hummingbirds, the deer, and catching that, and just giving you basically life and what we should be celebrating in life. And, be happy, be loved, be ambitious, in the way you want to be. And, even though the project wasn't done, there's always tomorrow, or the next day, or the day after. You'll find that time to find that peace. And basically I did. I found my peace. I found my love. I found my, amazing, that that journey, and it was absolutely amazing. So on that point, like I said, it was basically life's advice from me to you. Enjoy life. Have that, hold that somebody. Hug them. Say to them millions and millions of times, I love you. I adore you. I admire you. To my family, my new family, my blood, which we had some patches, which is a great thing. But, truly to my best friends that have been there, from the get go, from day one. Thank you so much. I love you guys so much. And I admire you and I adore you so much. And never give up your dream. Never give up your dream. Always go after the big thing, what you want, accomplish it. Be the warrior that you've always been. Be that rock star you've always been, like I am right now. Like I said, 18 round of chemos. I'm a rock star, and I am definitely a warrior that screams for it and making sure everything gets handled the right way. So it's just an amazing ride. It was just an amazing. Things have hiccuped here and there, but everything's okay. Everything's good. And again, like I said, I'm grateful and I'm blessed that I'm in a beautiful place, in a beautiful town. And, it's just a lot, and, that year will always be very well remembered. And obviously it's going to be on YouTube whenever you want to see it, whenever you want to see the certain journey that I've been on, this past year. And I'm looking forward to doing it more at 26. And in 26, there are no New Year's resolutions. I can tell you that because I was just talking to a friend of mine that I just met recently. It's a New Year's ritual. Okay. What do you want to do for what you want to do for the next year? Well, I hope to plan out a trip out to Letchworth. I hope to plan out to go out to see West Points again, Cooperstown, Albany, Wallenpaupack, amazing areas that always seeing the beauty and just being a part of it. In fact, seeing about my friends back in Western New York, that I missed them so much and missed them dearly, and keep kicking butt. And not only that, have another round at Long Island. And yes, Long Island was great. Believe me, I needed to see my family. I needed to see my relatives. I needed to see my godfather, my aunt, and my two cousins, in which they were amazing. So I thank you guys from that. And out in Mattuck, no less. And they're doing okay. So, and again, it was just an amazing year. And just with the comfort foods, from the kielbasa, the pierogies, the mushroom soup, everything, and doing my first trip down on a train, that was really, really amazing with it. So it just planned out. I'm like, gee, I could actually do this. It's pretty easy. I'm like, I'm ready for another trip. So hopefully we're going to do another, family reunion. Hopefully, we'll plan it out in ahead, and maybe some get-togethers. Who knows? We're gonna wait and see what's gonna happen, because I normally say Rome wasn't built in a day. Its empires weren't built in a day. You take one single day at a time. It's going to be definitely a new adventure, a new chapter for 26. So I'm looking forward to it. And again, there's a long list of thank yous, so bear with me for this. I'm going to go into this. I mean, like I said, great year, but there's people behind the scenes that really happen. First of all, to Jerry and Mary Jane, thank you from there. And Jerry, thank you for getting me from point A to point B when I needed it, to Ride to Survive of Sullivan County. Oh, and by the way, Ride to Survive is amazing. It's just, these angels are amazing, from Kara to Ron to the entire crew. thank you so much for helping me out in when I needed when I needed that most, and the backing to amazing other agencies around in Sullivan County. Thank you so much for doing that. To my best friends again, to Charles, to Alexis, to Kristen, Nina, Liam, you guys are basically my foundation. And to most importantly, to my niece, my power of attorney, Amanda, you are the best. You are my uh, beautiful angel, and all you guys are my beautiful angels. And if there's anybody that I did forget out there, um, I apologize. But it's usually it's chemo brain. But actually, there's another group of people that are amazing angels indeed, and that's from the New York Cancer and Blood Center in Middletown, New York. Without them, I would not be here right now. I would probably be in a hospital, or that certain other things. So to you guys, thank you. I am looking forward to it, because next month I have to do I have a CAT scan coming up, and I probably have an echo coming up for my heart. So on that note, with that's happening, and before, with all the other thank yous and whatnot, thank you to Bulk Gold Media. Thank you to Captain Eddie. Thank you to Tigman. To my radio brothers and sisters, you guys are awesome, because without you guys, and definitely to Rick, I gotta tell you, without you guys, you kept me laughing, you kept me rolling, on certain parodies. Or, for example, week 13 was a baker's dozen, so I gave a baker's dozen of donuts to the staff, saying, in much appreciation. It just kind of comes out of me, because it's these guys work so hard, and they definitely need that they need that nourishment. Come on, it's like everything else. Again, to the parodies, and with from 16 to 18 to certain to 13, and how everything plays in numbers, everything plays with it, and it's going to be it was so funny. It just got me to laugh, and laughter is definitely best medicine, and especially if you have to bring out a joke to a nurse or to a doctor, and they start cracking up, you're going to make a great day, and that's a win. So anyway, this is it. This is really it. Year review 2025. Wow. I just can't believe it. I'm looking forward to 2026. Okay. We're going to be into this ride together. We're going to battle this together, and baby, I'll still keep posting. And again, one of my favorite things to do, and one of my favorite two sayings that kept me going throughout the entire year, is definitely, oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you this. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Stephanie. You guys are amazing. I couldn't have done it without you guys, and I'm glad we reconnected. So now, with what I'm saying here, there are two sayings that I've actually said at the end of my posts and whatnot. And this one was coming from the late, great Jim Valvano from North Carolina State. North Carolina State. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. And again, from a movie line from Russell Crowe from Gladiator. Gosh, close, over 20 years ago, and still one of my favorite flicks. That's like my go-to flick if I had a choice. And the line goes, "And what we do in life echoes in eternity." And I wanted to be echoing everything louder and brighter, and being like up there, because everybody deserves a chance. Everybody deserves to be, accounted for, and and having that voice. And lo and behold, it's everything right there. So, and one other thing before before this is over, a very special thank you to the Sullivan County Legislature, to legislature member Kat Scott, doing a proclamation of Sullivan County acknowledging and recognizing Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month in November. They're going to be doing this again next year, and I can't wait to be there in purple, and hopefully to be a little bit more better and making things happen. And November 20th, never forget, it's Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Day. So thank you to all. Thank you for watching. We're going to continue on this amazing journey. Like I said, this week is going to be a blood marker week for me. We'll get some news, hopefully after the new year, probably Friday or Saturday. We'll give you more of the benefit of the doubt for the new year. And then we'll continue on with the new journey as we continue on. So again, this is Charles, Chuck, Charlie, Chaz from CGM3 Productions, wishing you all a very happy, healthy, and prosperous new year. There's always New Year's rituals. Make it happen and just do it. Peace, love, and see ya.